Coming up, you know how anytime you see a blog post or a presentation about entrepreneurship, you see a guy who is leaping from one side of the rocks to the other? Well, I believe that entrepreneurship actually has multiple leaps, and at any time, you can fall in between the cracks. And in this video, I'll share with you the one factor that got me to take that initial leap and why that same factor is why I've been able to continue taking multiple leaps to make more money last year than I've ever made in my life. Stay tuned. Up, and I'm doing this unedited, unfiltered, just raw Steve P. Young. So the one factor for me taking that initial leap to actually staying on the mountains, on the rocks, and taking multiple leaps without falling through the cracks, feeling like I was falling through the cracks sometimes, but continuing to climb up and take more leaps was and still is community. And let me tell you a quick story before you stop. Like, oh, I've heard about community before. Let me tell you why it's so important. So when I first started thinking about taking the leap, I was 32 at the time. And I said, look, I got to do this sometime. I have 2 kids. I've got a wife. I've got a mortgage. And I got to do this. I used to sell cassette tapes when I was in elementary school. And so this entrepreneurial spirit was always inside of me. And I stumbled upon this podcast called Entrepreneur on Fire. And at first I was like, what is this show about? He's asking the same questions to multiple guests, but it's always the same questions. That sounds boring. And then I started listening to it on my drive home, and I batch listened to it. I was binging on the show because I heard about it, but I've never listened. And then I went through 30 or 40 episodes at once. And then I started realizing that there was a common theme. So John Lee Dumas, host of Entrepreneur on Fire, he asked every guest, what was the one thing holding you back from entrepreneurship? And I heard from a lot of the big names that it was actually fear. It was one of those things. And I said, fear, come on. I used to sell cassette tapes. I'm not afraid of anything. But I started to unpeel the onions and started thinking about like why I had it left, why I was still trying to climb the corporate ladder. And I said, you know what? It actually is fear. Holy cow, I am actually a wimp. No, I'm actually afraid of taking that leap. And so I started thinking, yeah, how do I overcome that fear? And fast forward a little bit, and when John decided to actually open up his mastermind, so he started a community, and I started hearing about masterminds. So before then, I started hearing about masterminds, like, oh, people joining masterminds, this Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, he was talking about masterminds. I started hearing more about it. So when John opened his, I immediately joined. I said, let's go. I was part of the first 50. And in that group, we had a private Facebook group where people were sharing that they set a date to leave. And this was in 2013. So I started the podcast already to sort of learn from people in the app business. And I started in this mastermind, I started seeing people saying, hey, I'm quitting. I set a date. It's October. It's November, and we're all getting excited for it. And that's when I knew that I said, hey, I want to set a date. Like, I want to do that. And within that community, I met so many awesome people that I still stay in touch with to this day. And it was that, like, it gave me the courage to actually set a date and then eventually leave my corporate job and have the people that were supporting me to do that, because I've hired a business coach through that mastermind who helped me put things in place as I was leaving. So now I take that first leap. I'm in it. First year, kind of horrible, let's be honest. I was still kind of figuring out what in the world am I doing? How am I going to make money? I had no idea. The preconceptions of how I thought I was going to make money on my own, completely false. Throw that away. And so in 2014, my first year, I was just trying to figure stuff out, trying different things, doing courses, doing webinars, really losing myself in the whole process because I was trying things that I heard people were doing and it didn't feel natural to me. And late 2014, I started really focusing on a couple of things. The agency side. See, I had clients coming to me before I even left corporate to say, hey, Steve, I need app marketing help. Can you help me? And said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to build an agency. It doesn't scale. It's hours for dollars, all this malarkey that you'd hear online. I said, forget it. Let's do it. It's working. It's making money. Okay, nothing else is working as much as this. So I started focusing on that. And in April of 2015, Pat Flynn was doing his one-day business breakthrough. It was a live mastermind event. And I said, let's go see it, because I thought it was brilliant. So actually, let me rewind a bit. After I joined John's, I actually started my own mastermind. I said, hey, I love this concept so much that I'm gonna start my own. And that mastermind has allowed me, the people that I've met through my own mastermind have allowed me to kind of not fall in between the cracks as I take my business from just what I thought it was gonna be to the agency that it is now, and to the success that we've gotten through that. A lot of the strategies that have been shared within the mastermind, I've used myself, iterated a little bit, and then used myself to find success. And the people within my own mastermind are the reason I have not left. I still continue to take these leaps. And it was a friend of mine, Gonzalo, we've become really good friends, who I was like telling him, hey man, like this is stressful stuff. I don't know if I should want to continue doing this. He said, you got this. Here's what you got to do. Hire some people. I hired a person about 2 weeks after we talked, and my business completely took off right after that. So it really has been a game changer for me. So let me go back to what I was saying about Pat Flynn's one-day business breakthrough. I said, I got to try this because I love this concept. It's one day. It's where the attendees get into the hot seat, like a live mastermind, and they talk about their business. And Pat and Chris Ducker will go through and talk about like what you're doing right, kind of talk about their experiences. They had some experts and so forth. I says, this is brilliant. One, I think it's a great idea. I want to attend just to kind of learn. And two, I want to do this for the app community because I already found value in something I already copied from John Lee Dumas in the mastermind. And now I want to copy something like this in 2016 and bring it to the app business as well. And through that one day business breakthrough, I met some people who now I'm in a mastermind with, and they've actually helped me grow my agency, because a lot of us in there are freelancers, agency types. And so it really helps from an agency standpoint. And all that came because I took the risk and I said, hey, I believe in community. I believe in masterminds. I'm going to go to it. I'm going to study what really works well in this format, and then hopefully bring it to my app business and also grow my own business at the same time. And so this year, so those two things have really led me to continuing to grow my business, continue to take those multiple leaps forward, and to hopefully, my end goal is to build a 7-figure business. I think I can double what I did last year. So here we go. But the community really, really, really did help out. And so if you're interested in joining my mastermind, do it. But if you don't have a community, you don't have a mastermind, go check out Fire Nation Elite. It's great for online entrepreneurs if you want to do that. If you want to do the app business stuff, I've got my own. I think what you need from a mastermind is somebody who's committed, who's going to be the ignition to it all. It's going to keep it going, who's going to have that passion to drive it forward. You need that. If you don't have that, become that, like I did for my own app mastermind. And then for the event, all the links are below or up top, wherever you're watching this video. But the event's going to happen in April of 2016. I've been writing it in my journal every single day, and I'm going to make it happen for a small group in San Francisco. So if you want to learn more about this, find the links below. I'm not going to tell you what website because I have no idea what it is. But everything that has helped me to get to this point in my business, and frankly, in my life, is because of the community I have, whether it's my personal community through my friends and family, to the business community of my business associates who've really, really helped out. And so if you want to learn more, go check it out. But I want to thank you. Find your own community. If you're thinking about taking the leap, or if you've already taken the leap and you're feeling like giving up, like I did back in 2015, literally last year, I felt like giving up because I didn't want to go through the stress. I still literally feel like giving up these days. But if you've taken the leap, if you're just about trying to take the leap, or you've already taken the leap and you feel like giving up, find a community. Or start your own community. Be the igniter within the community to keep you going. It has, just like it's helped me take that initial leap and keep going as well. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you. I don't know how to end this. I'll see you. Bye.
Okay, we are unbagging, like I said, in the Swarm and Crusher. We are unbagging because we got this from GameStop and it's pre-owned. And also, let's get unboxing. I mean, unbagging.